Hey everyone, it's Amy. I just wanted to make a short video today about cloning in Lightroom. I know that is something that a lot of people really struggle with. For me personally, I struggle with it more in Photoshop than I do in Lightroom. What I really specifically wanted to show you was how to edit some of these flyaways that are up here around her hair. The image, this isn't like the exact same image here, but it's the image taken right before this one. So this is what it looked like raw, and then I used a Summerana preset with it. They have a new light and airy presets, and if you have their monthly membership, it's really great. You can download a bunch of stuff, and I have found these light and airy presets over here to be really good. They kind of fit my style, and then I usually just tweak them, and I'll just kind of go through the top here and show you what I do to tweak them. Let's see. Okay, so what I did with this one was I did warm it up a little bit by using this slider, and then I used the tint slider and I moved it down just a little bit because I wanted a little bit more green than pink tint to the photo. I usually do this for every photo. I increase my contrast because I like the look that that gives. And then for this particular photo, I reduced the highlights, shadows, and whites. And in case you don't know, up here, if you look at your histogram and these right here, these will tell you where this is for your highlights, and then this one is for your blacks. So notice if I hover over that one, it will show me the spot here. If you click it, it stays. It'll show me where it's really dark. I'm not even going to worry about that because it's her hair. It's supposed to be dark. But then if your highlights are off right here, then it shows you exactly where they're off so that you can adjust them. Sometimes I'll use a brush to adjust. Anyways, let's see, what else did I do to this? I added a little bit of texture and I reduced the clarity. And I also reduced the blues in here because of her white shirt. If you're ever photographing someone wearing a white shirt, you'll notice that it soaks up all the blue from the sky, and she's also wearing a blue skirt. So I always bring my saturation down just a little bit, and then I increase the luminance. And another thing I pretty much always do is I increase the sharpening because I don't sharpen on export. I like to do it manually. So I increase that to here, and then the luminance that's for the noise, so I took care of that. So anyway, we're gonna make her nice and big here. So to do flyaways, to do these little things, I already did a couple of them, but so you're gonna click on this right here, and then I use the heel instead of the clone when I'm doing something like flyaways or pieces of hair on the face, simply because it is a little bit softer. And I like the control that I have in Lightroom for this more so than in Photoshop. I feel like I just spent like half an hour trying to do this, and I finally said, forget it. I'm going to go back to Lightroom and do it. So you have your circle. Right here, you can change the feather and the opacity. I keep those at 100. And then this is where you can increase the size of your brush. You can also use your mouse to increase or decrease it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along here, and you just have to click on it, let go, and then that's gone. Sometimes you'll get a little bit left over, but it's so much easier for me just to take care of that here. And so I try to go through and do some of the flyaways like right away so that I can get a nice consistent look here without doing like a big section. Like, you don't want to do a big area like this because it will end up looking a little wonky, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to keep going over this. Got that one more time in this little spot right here. And then what I'll do a lot of times is just kind of like blend this a little bit more, is I will make a bigger brush. Now your inner circle, see the plus sign, and then you have the smaller circle and the larger circle. The center circle is where your change is going to happen. So if I like go here, half of her head's going to be changed as well. So I'm going to go right here, and it's going to manually, so here's the tricky part, okay? A lot of people don't know this. This isn't the right spot, right? I don't want that right next to her. I want this area over here. So what you do, since I have her enlarged already, I'm going to go over to fill and I'm going to find out where it took the sample from. You do that by clicking or by your H key on your keyboard. So if you press the H key, it will show you where it took the sample from. And if you have several, like see how I've got several right here, it's going to be kind of hard for me to do something there. But if I press the H key again, then those go away and I can go back to taking care of my clone job right along here. So press the H key and you can find out where it is. I'm going to take this, I'm going to left click on it and then move it. And I can move it anywhere I want, but I want an area that's going to kind of blend in with this. And like I said, heal for something like this, for me, works a little bit better because I feel like it gives sort of like a softer look than the clone does. So now I want to actually see what it looks like. So I'm going to press the H key again, and that looks a lot better. But I'm still not done because you can see it kind of goes in right here into her head. So we don't want it looking bad. So we're just going to click on this again. Now, if I click on this and feel like I went too far into her head, again, I press the H key, and then I take my mouse and I move my circle over to the area that I cloned. I right-click on that, and then I just move it out. So see, I can move it out, I can move it back in, I can put it wherever I want so that it doesn't look like I've cloned into her head. So I'm going to press my, now I'm going to do just kind of a smaller circle here. I may end up changing for this little section here. I think I'm going to, now if you mess up and you want to change it, just click on it, right click, and delete. There. So I'm going to switch over to the clone, and I'm going to come here and do it again. Now that's definitely not where I want that to come from. So I'm going to take this, move it over here. I want it in an area that's going to be a soft. Okay, there we go. The feather, the smaller the number, the harsher it looks. So if it's all the way up, that's going to look as soft as it will. I'm going to switch back now to heal, and it changes that to heal if I want instead. So again, I'm going to make a larger brush, and I'm just going to do this so that I can get another sample to make all of this work here blend in. I'm going to come up here. Okay, good. For me personally, this is looking a lot better than I was able to do it in Photoshop. So I'm glad that I decided to come over here and try it again in Lightroom because I am so comfortable using Lightroom. Okay, so this is where our sample is. We're going to take that and move it over here. Remember, left click on that and bring it over. And let's see. Okay, that's good. But I feel like it's kind of in her hair a little bit. So I'm just going to move my circle out. Okay, press my H key again so those disappear. If all these little circles are on and you're trying to clone, you will never be able to get, this was the hardest lesson for me to learn when it came to when it came to cloning. So if your H key is on and you see all these circles, notice how I can't click anywhere to fix a job. So like if I want to go in right here and fix this, I can't because these are all showing and it won't let me, you'll go nuts. But if you press the H key, those disappear and your tool shows back up. So we're going to go this way. And good, I like the way that that looks. This also works really well for getting flyaways off of the face. Definitely use a healing tool for that, not the clone. And that will help those flyaways disappear. I love being able to do that. I'm going to come up here and do a couple. So anyways, just wanted to be able to share all that with you. Happy cloning!